master blend that you guys got me. Thank you, by the way.
Sure.
For that. So I got the master blend here from Hallowed Grounds.
Yeah, no, we they don't officially sponsor us, but I'm there every day. So,
Nice.
and actually last week they gave me a gift card because they had extra money that they weren't using for like donations and stuff like they had. So they were like, "Oh, we're going to give it to our good customers." So
That's
that
awesome.
makes me a good customer.
Yeah, that's right. Seriously.
So well, if you're there every day, then yeah.
It's awesome. I think George told me about it. And he was like, you gotta go check out this place. I was like, all right, cool. So I did, and instantly just like fell in love with just like not only the staff, but just all their products. It's a really cool place.
Yeah, it is really neat because they roast their own coffee, right? So they're actually roasting their coffee and flavoring it and doing all that. I should probably try something other than cold brew at some point. But no.
Yeah, most days I just go in there and get whatever like dark blend that they have like on tap or a quad latte,
Oh wow.
Quad latte with almond milk. No sugar.
Yeah.
All good, straight up.
Yeah, no sugar, just straight.
Yeah.
Maybe a little almond milk.
Yeah.
But that's it. So today, hey everybody that is joining along, welcome to Coffee Conversation episode 30.
Go in there. 78. 24,
whatever it is.
19.
I don't know what number it is. We should actually probably number them at some point. But we are here today with Beth Tambellini, who is the high school band director at Blackhawk High School. Full disclosure, my kids go to Blackhawk. My daughter loves this man more than life. She thinks he's just the most awesomest thing in the world. He has a unique perspective because he is a first-year band director, which actually might give you a little bit of an edge because you're younger and you understand technology.
Tambellini, who is
yeah. So how are things going, Brandon?
It's good. It's definitely interesting. But given a lot of this stuff, it's not as bad as it could be for some other people's cases. Like, I mean, I was talking a little bit to some of people I graduated with, and it's kind of the general consensus is just like, this stinks. I mean, for us, it's just not being able to like conclude a year as like a first year teacher is a little weird. But we feel for our students. I think that's like kind of the hardest thing. Like for us, it's like, hey, we got 30 plus years to go, so it's not like a super big deal for us. And so we just not being able to say goodbye to like the first class that you teach, you know what I mean? Like that first group of students, not being able to kind of, close the book with them is kind of the hardest part about it. But, I'm very lucky, teaching at Blackhawk, not only with our staff and our team, but just like the kids are awesome. And they've been pretty great about this whole thing. We've been doing a little bit of smart music, which has been cool. Thank them for opening up and making that stuff free. So I think we're just kind of still, and I think everyone is just in that whole like figuring out stage where just like, okay, something works for a little bit and then, we go down and it doesn't work again. So it's ups and downs, but it's going well and we're having a good time. So
that's fine. I mean, what I've been telling like other teachers and other people that have been calling me and talking to me is they got to think about it as the wild, wild west, because there are no rules, right? You don't have any rules. There's no set. This is what you have to do. This is what you need to accomplish. This is where it goes. You get to make up your own rules. And the people that I see that are being very successful are doing just that. They're trying just to engage the kids and get them to play and do whatever they can to keep playing, and that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny because, and I was telling you guys earlier, it's like being a first year teacher, like you have no idea what you're doing, and now you really have no idea what you're doing. So when you talk about even like having rules, I mean, I don't like I have somewhat of rules, that I established like the first couple months I was here, but that's all gone now. Now it's just it's another blank slate. So it's fun. I mean, it's definitely, you got to think outside the box. It's unique, but again, with all these companies, I mean, just giving you stuff for free and like all these free subscriptions, It's great, especially the smart music. I can't praise them enough. I mean, I know that like sometimes their system is a little bit up and down, which is to be expected in this time. But like, I mean, just to throw everything there for free, I mean, it's awesome. And we're probably going to look into it, you know, going forward now, because it's been probably the best thing.
You guys keep going.
Awesome.
I have to go get somebody.
Cool. So what kind of projects and like things that are you doing with smart music?
Yeah.
How
So
are you utilizing it?
yeah. So for now, like the first couple, you know, I think it was like when all this stuff originally started and schools closed, we jumped immediately into teaching. I think George talked a little bit about that. So we didn't actually have like a time to really like, you know, sit down and like recuperate. We were kind of doing things just day by day, which is awesome. So, you know, I think a lot of that life was kind of normal for our students in the sense of like, okay, you know, I still have school, I still got to do this thing, which was really cool. But at that time, a lot of those companies didn't open anything up yet. It was just kind of like everyone was still like, okay, you know, what are we doing? Maybe we can add some discounts. But then after about 2 weeks, I just did like some fun projects. Like I showed the kids that We Are the World video that was for Africa. Or like the Lionel Richie thing. And I was like, okay, hey, name, you know, how many people can you name? You know, just something fun. They did pretty well. I was actually surprised. And then there was one that they did 25 years later, I think, which was for Haiti. And it had like Justin Bieber in it. So it had like, you know, like Fergie was in it. It was like all like different and more modern people. So now how many people can you name? So that was like what we did just for a little bit, just to kind of like, you know, wait it out and see, you know, get like, you know, for me to collect my thoughts, like how am I going to start doing band? But then once smart music, you know, became available, instantly did that. And that's been awesome. So we've been doing, so we kind of started with just like long tone exercises, just like literally holding an F concert and just seeing, okay, you know, did all the students get into the system? Most of them have been able to. We have a couple that we're kind of just doing a little bit of a flexible assignment, but slowly upping, you know, the levels just to see, you know, how far we can go. So.
Okay, sweet. So the smart music thing is like still progressing, still kind of like.
Yeah. So like last week and the week before was just, again, long tone stuff, like super basic, like everyone can play it. It's not really too much of a challenge. And it was just to see like, you know, how many, you know, did everyone get into the system? Were we able to do it? Did we all figure out how to submit, you know, all that stuff? Now we're doing a little bit more. We're doing some minor stuff this week, just like arpeggios and stuff. And I was able to find a march for them. So that'll be good. Ferris at the Fair. So that'll be a lot of fun. So I can set like the tempo, you know, like, okay, we're going to start at 62 beats, you know, this week, and then next week it'll be 70. And so it's pretty cool. So now we're starting to get into the a little bit.
Sweet. That's awesome. Hey, we have a comment from George here. He said, "Hey, it's my boss."
Oh man, wow. Pressure's on now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not his boss. He's the man.
So like looking forward, like towards the end of the year, are you planning on doing like any kind of like other pieces or like have any big plans or just kind of still working it out there?
You know, it's as far as music, George actually and we've been watching some of the Scott Lang stuff and some of the Dr. Tim stuff, and you know, kind of a takeaway at least. And I know this is it's all subjective, as like Richard was talking about. You know, there's no rules. But you know, something that the point that they brought up is that we're not teaching the band anymore. You know, you're not teaching the ensemble. So, you know, from there it's like, you know, what do you do? What's your priority? And so to kind of answer your question there is like, I don't think we're gonna do. At least I don't have a plan of like, okay, we're gonna play, you know, Stars and Stripes, you know, and we're gonna all record it and do it all at once. You know, I don't really think. Kind of my plan is to, you know, make sure we're doing things like the Sousa Award, the Louis Armstrong Award, trying to, you know, we're going to do a senior spotlight that we're going to start now on the Blackhawk band page, where we just feature a senior every couple of days and doing a lot of things like that.
Cool.
I know that our boosters are putting together still a slideshow that we were going to show at the banquet, which is awesome. So doing a lot of things like that. Obviously, you know, we'll keep the smart music stuff up and just make sure that their chops are going. But you know, to me in this time, and I think to everyone else, is the time off the horn, those special memories, that's what we're gonna at least be trying
Right.
to shoot more of. So
And that's just so important. That's I'm glad you said that.
yeah, well,
Welcome back, Richard.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Hey, look, George.
Yeah. See, I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to put it up there.
That's nice.
Or you just keep that there for the whole time?
We can do that.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks.
We can do that.
Could you put more than one comment up there?
I don't know. We have to have somebody else comment. So somebody else comments so we can see if we can show multiple comments.
If you're watching this, say hello. Hi. How's it going? If you also have any questions as we're going along through here, just comment them below and we'll pull them up for you. So look at that.
There's a little ticker. We can make
wow,
that
man.
whatever we want.
This is fancy.
It is fancy. This is actually a program we found. I watch Gary Vaynerchuk a whole bunch. Who does? Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Getting back.
Weird. Maybe it's because let me hide the ticker and see if that helps. Yep. Nope. So, but anyways, I watch Gary and he uses this program all the time, and that's how I found it. And it seems to work very well. We've been very happy with being able to. Hey, look, there's another one. So there. Oh no, it just changes it. So
That's my sister.
and then somebody, of course, just puts comment.
I love that.
So, thanks, Kelly. Oh, we
favorite.
appreciate that. So, yes.
Sweet.
Yep.
Well, Richard, do you have any other questions? We were just talking about like the end of the year, like what's going on there.
Yeah, I know Autumn's been sad. She goes up and down. Beth had a really rough day yesterday because this is her last baby. And of course, for those of you who don't know, my wife has been involved in Blackhawk music program in one way or another since about 1992. She was the assistant band director for a while. She's been a woodwind instructor. She's been a band booster president. So she's coming to the end of that road, and she was doing okay with it for a very long time. And then all of a sudden yesterday, it all kind of hit that this was pretty much the end of what she's going to be doing. Obviously she'll stay involved and still keep doing whatever she does. But as far as having kids involved in the program, that's kind of it. I mean, our little kids have been out there for years. When she was the assistant band director, the kids would go and stay in Bob Barthen's office while she was working with the band. And so they've been around the whole program forever.
Right.
And what is happening out of Blackhawk right now is very exciting and very, very good. And I'm not just saying that just because Brandon's on here. I think that he is the right fit for the moment out here, and is going to do good things with the program going forward. We do have, So I don't know if you heard yesterday, Brandon, there's the Consumer Institute is doing their summer program. Just to talk about that for a minute again, for anybody that didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, so Consumer has this thing called CSI, which is Consumer Institute. It is usually in Indiana, but of course this year with the problems that we're experiencing, it's not going to be there. It's going to be virtual. So it's like all the leading educators in the country. So Richard Cicedo, Dr. Tim Lutzenheimer. I don't have the list of the whole people, but they're going to be doing virtual stuff. And it's basically a perspective from band directors that have done it. So it's not like what you learn in college, which is, the theory behind it. This is actually real life experience. And this is how you deal with different things. And they've dropped the price way down. I think it used to be like $399 when you actually went to the college where it was at. I think it's $129 this year. College students that are still in college, obviously that's what makes them college students, are only $49. So if you're a college student out there, it's a really good thing to watch. I know Noah's gone twice and comes back energized and excited and has all these new ideas from people that you don't get to talk to on a daily basis.
Sure.
So that's going to be a really cool thing. That's coming up in June, and we'll put links up on our website and on the Facebook page and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's super cool. What else is going on? Anything else fun?
It's Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes,
just to remind everybody.
It's a blur, man.
Yeah.
It's a day. I mean, to me, it's just a day.
Yeah.
one thing real quick, we did get these in. Oh, I can never figure this out.
There you go.
This is the iRig Video Creator Bundle. It comes with a ring light and a holder for your phone and a lavalier microphone and a little button to start and stop recordings and stuff like that. $99. So if you're looking to be able to, take your podcasting game or your teaching game or whatever game up to the next level, we have a couple of those in stock. So I'll be playing with that later on and see what that's like.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Cool. We had a couple of other comments. Hi, Hannah.
Oh, here, let me.
And then also Leslie Vickers said Brando.
Man, whole squad's here,
Yeah, that's all. You've got a whole cheering section, which is awesome.
Look at
that. I did think it was interesting though, Rich, how you brought how Beth kind of hit the wall a little bit. I feel like all of us, at some point are like you have that moment of just like, oh, this is life for a little bit, and I think it's interesting that I think mine happened like about a week in when it was like there was like no school, and I was just like, what on earth is happening? It's just, and I think all of us at some point just kind of hit that, like, oh, this is the moment now. And again, it goes back to that closure of like, as a first year teacher, there is no closing the book of like, that first class that you teach, and it's weird. It's just a weird kind of hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that like that for me was like right on the Saturday of Treewood Championships for Blackhawks indoor and stuff. I was like,
oh yeah,
supposed to be there competing right now. This is crazy. Like,
Very good. So we do have a question from Beth. Any idea what's going to happen with the new marching camp that was going to be in May?
Yeah, so actually, and Jen, you were there, so we kind of talked about kind of our plan. So we, as a staff, we had a meeting Friday about what we're going to do and going forward, because it's weird because like we're in that it's kind of like no one knows yet. There's really it's kind of hard to plan in the unknown. It just seems like every day we're inside even longer, or something's getting pushed back. I was supposed to go see Joe Rogan's stand-up in May, and that got pushed back. A buddy of mine, we were supposed to go see that, and that got pushed back now. And I think that's actually we got refunded for it, but I think they're now pushing it to October. Like everything is just everything's just getting messed up. So right now we're kind of like waiting to see a week or so, what the governor decides as far as when the summer activities are supposed to start, because there's rumors that it's supposed to be July 1st. I think like a Post Gazette wrote about it or something, but I mean, who knows when that's going to happen. But so right now we're, as a staff, we're gonna and this was actually George's idea, we're going to reach out individually to students via we use Schoology. So all of our students are on that, and we can just message them and check in on them and see what they're doing. And obviously we have emails, but the Schoology actually is a little bit nicer because we can physically search each student. So as a staff, we're gonna just take for instance, I would take like the A through C, and Jen would take C through F, and so forth. And we're just gonna individually reach out to those students, check in on them, see hey, are you interested in doing this? If so, tell us about, what instrument you want to play, and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like the first step that we've decided, just figuring out who's doing what, who's in where, if they're going to stay or not. As far as the marching, we really haven't thought about it yet. As all honesty, it's just one of those, it's kind of a waiting game. We have ideas as far as, do we, might post some videos like, hey, this is what your first step looks like. This is what marching looks like. We don't want to go too much and overload them yet, especially just want them to get through the year. And I was telling everyone that in our meeting that band, in my opinion, should be on everyone's last mind. Like I don't want people to worry. Hey, what am I going to do in the summer? Or what am I going to do in the fall? Like, to me, that's Don't worry about that. Like everything will be fine. We're gonna have a show. We're gonna march. Everything will be fine. Worry about yourself. Worry about your school. Get all that stuff done. Make sure you're with your friends and family. So it's just kind of one step at a time with all that.
Yeah. Band is going to be band no matter what.
Right.
So.
Well, as far as social distancing goes, I mean, that's the easiest place to be socially distant, right? You just
right out in the field.
Everybody's away from everybody.
Right.
And you're good. No, yeah, the whole thing is going to, we've been talking about it around here because one of our concerns for the programs is how recruitment looks for the next class year, right? So we have a lot of schools that actually do it here in the spring that aren't going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, recruitment's just not going to happen. And then, okay, so you get to the fall, what does that look like? So we're actually working on plans on how to make it. We're putting a video together to hopefully help with recruiting. And we're doing some other stuff like that just because we don't know what that looks like. And, as far as being a store goes, don't know when we're going to be allowed to be back in here and actually open. I mean, I am in the store doing what I can do for people, helping getting supplies and stuff like that. But, who knows when we can actually turn the lights on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and actually have, staff come back and stuff like that. So there is some rumor that we are going to be at least partially opening up the repair shop next week.
Cool.
So just don't know if we'll be taking a whole lot of customer repairs, but we need to get, we're kind of behind because of the returns and stuff like that. So that hopefully will happen next week, as long as everybody's okay. And that's where I've been with it, is I'm letting anybody do anything that they're okay with.
Yeah.
Don't want to put anybody in jeopardy. Don't want to put anybody in a situation they don't like, because that's not right either. So just trying to take care of everybody like we can. So anyways, that's me. Sorry.
No, you kind of have to like plan for the moment. You can't plan for the future because you just don't know what's going to happen. So once something is presented, it's like, all right, this is where we're at. So now we kind of adapt to that moment, which is cool because like as music teachers, we're kind of good at that. But it's just weird. It's just different. It's different, but it's cool to see everyone coming together, like having all these, podcasts and all these free, Zoom calls and discussions, and just, there's so much out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's overwhelming actually how much material there is out there for students, in this time, at least in the music world. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love everybody who's like, just sharing like clinics, workshops, and a lot of our manufacturers are doing that for us, like a lot of our companies, and it's just like there's just so much, and everybody just wants to like spread knowledge because what else are we going to occupy our mind with? So
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's actually, I've learned a whole lot of stuff that I didn't know before.
Yeah.
From these companies, which is nice, and it's going to change the way that we do business going forward. I've talked to several of the guys that are like, yeah, I might not travel as much. We might just do stuff like this. And it's like, if there's actually more information being disseminated right now than there's ever been. So.
Oh yeah. Like with some of like Eastman music companies, like virtual meetings. One of the ones a few weeks ago, there was like a whole week of saxophones, and they actually had like the makers like take apart saxophones like in our homes, and was like, this is that mechanism. And it was so interesting. And, we would have never gotten that if, we weren't all at home and wondering, what do we do? So, but that's something to take out of it.
Yeah. And it is interesting because like I've been just hanging out, in my 2-room apartment, and there's just, you have almost like no other option as far as like, okay, I can't go out. I mean, I go outside, for a walk every now and then, but, you're not going out to restaurants. You're not going to a friend's house or anything. So it's just like, oh, let's see what, oh, hey, look, this webinar was on. I'm going to go learn something new today. Or like, hey, I'm going to go read a couple pages of this book. There's like the actual, you have so much time to like learn about things.
Oh yeah.
You just didn't have time to learn. I've been reading a conducting book that George gave me for my birthday. Just reading about, it's like a 500-page book, and just kind of going at it, just reading it, just about like different things. It's just things I just didn't have time to really, read about and learn about. It's so there is, a lot of positivity in what seems to be a negative, kind of scenario.
Right, and it's all how you look at it too. Because I'm in that same space where there's been a lot of positive things. I've actually gotten to be able to recharge and be able to look at the business harder than I've ever been able to look at it, and be able to actually figure some things out that we haven't been able to figure out because there's time in here now. So I'm in a good space that way. But there's a lot of people that are struggling just because. And I think it's the uncertainty, right? It's the not knowing when the end is. If we knew when the end was, then I think a lot of people would be a lot better off.
Well, yeah, you can plan for the future.
Right.
You can't.
So we want to go to Disney World at Christmas, and I'm not booking that because I don't know what that looks like.
No.
So I'm glad I didn't book it before this whole thing started, because then I'd be worried about trying to figure out how to get the money back. But yeah, so we were talking about that the other night. But yeah, we're not planning even that far out just because you don't know.
Yeah.
But it is the right thing to do, is to stay home and to do what we're told to do and cover your face and all that stuff and wash your hands. And it is the right thing right now. Hopefully we'll get out of it sooner than later.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Get back to some normal. But who knows what normal looks like.
It looks like Matt Sabbath, one of our employees at North Hills, he's commenting from the YouTube live. So, yeah. And that's a cool thing. So anybody watching right now, we also do have a YouTube page that we'll be posting some videos on. We're also going to be doing these live streams on it as well. So it's actually streaming right now. So for the 19 people who are watching, go subscribe to our YouTube page.
Well, we have 19 from YouTube on?
No, from Facebook.
Oh, we have 21. I have 21.
I have 20. Well, I think something is lying to us. But anyways.
Maybe it counts me. I don't know. It counts you because you're on watching it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I pulled it up on my phone. We're here watching it.
So we get that bonus watcher.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, no, actually, we just found out we could stream to YouTube too. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing is that YouTube used to have a restriction of you had to have 1,000 viewers or 1,000 subscribers to be able to stream live, and they've removed that restriction so that anybody can stream live. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, you can stream live. Yeah. Which is once again one of those things that's very cool, that people are opening up these platforms to all different kinds of people and just for fun. I mean, I have there's a friend of my brother's who's a comedian out in I think he's in Washington State, and he's doing a nighttime show every night, just so he'll bring up StreamYard and post the link, and whoever wants to get on can get on. So you just copy the link and
just go there and hang.
Right. Yeah, you can go on and just talk to them and whatever for an hour or two or whatever. So that's kind of cool. But so there's a lot of interesting products that are being put out there and a lot of different content. And, I mean, I think I've watched all of Netflix at this point. I think I've watched it all. I think I finished Netflix.
Just everything of Netflix.
You won.
I think so.
Game over.
Yeah. So now we're on to Disney Plus, and we'll see if we can finish that. And then nice. I have been watching Picard. So
is that good?
I'm a big Star Trek guy, and so CBS All Access has Picard. So
how are the Star Wars shoes?
How are the Star Wars
shoes?
Oh
man. So I have all right, thanks, Evan. So I guess I'm gonna have to admit this on live now. So I have limited edition Star Wars Adidas shoes.
Ooh.
And I got for Christmas. So I have those. They're good, Evan. They're over there on my shoe rack. So
well, really? Can you show them to us?
I guess I have no choice now.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're like I don't know. I'm imagining like a lightsaber going across like the bottom.
Kind of. So this is what they look like. And then it's the Yoda shoe, believe it or not.
Oh, nice.
So we just came out with this line. I don't know. This is like one of their most popular shoe. I don't know if you've ever seen someone wear these. But they came out like with the Star Wars line with the new movie. And so on the back it says, "The do or do not, there is no try." So,
Oh, look at that.
That's perfect.
they're sweet.
I had
Great.
my first semester at Edinburgh, my keyboard professor or piano professor, she would always say that, and it was like, I get it now, because at first I didn't watch any of the Star Wars films, and then like after her saying that every single class, like I had to watch them.
But Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda is, and
He's
I know
really cool.
Baby Yoda is the thing.
Yeah, I still haven't watched The Mandalorian.
They just they released a second trailer, or I think trailer for like the second series. I think
Yeah,
it's
of
just
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Jen, seriously, Jen, you got nothing but time. Watch Mandalorian.
You gotta watch it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just binge that today.
Binge that today and then give us a report. No, because once you get to see Baby Yoda, your heart will melt. You really will.
Yeah.
So one other question we have is, do you think going forward, do you think digital tools are still going to be used when you're teaching in person again? Or do you think that they're valid as far as like going? I think so. I think smart music is going to be more of a part of what you're doing.
Forward. Well, like I was talking to the band director at Mount Lebanon, who was my former band director, Jason Cheskowich, and we were talking because we're both using smart music now, and it's we were talking about like, how the company, it was so nice that they gave their everything for free, which it is, but it's also like it's a genius marketing tool, because all of us are using the software now, and it's like, once you have it figured out, it's awesome. And and I'm gonna talk to the administration, Blackhawk, and see if we can work something out, whether it's just a teacher pass, or maybe maybe our students can get on there, because it's great, because it's individual assessment. And that the time that we don't have in the classroom, because we're working on ensemble skills a lot of the time, I can check in once a week, be like, okay, I can hear that Susie's sousaphone is having trouble playing this scale, or Tommy trombone is messing this part of the song up, and there's time for that individual assessment, and it's just like it's a click of a button. Everything is on the smart music. It's awesome. And so from the individual assessment standpoint, it's great. So I think, digital tools will be, I think, a lot more prevalent in the classroom in general, now that we kind of have figured things out. We have the time to figure out technology, because everyone always, myself included, I don't have time to figure this out. We have a concert coming up, or, we have a test coming down the line, or whatever it is. So I think now that we've had time, we can just kind of implement these little bits of technology. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. It's been awesome. So.
Cool. Well, that's very cool. Anybody have anything else they'd like to add to the discussion? Are we good?
Comment below.
Comment below.
I dare you.
Remember, there's a 10-second delay.
As a parent, Richard, just out of curiosity,
yes.
how are you, doing with all this stuff? I mean, I haven't really had time to like sit down and talk to parents. I mean, and just some of the feedback I've got, it's a little crazy. I know most of yours are,
Yeah, that was not the weird thing, but so I always had two of them at home, right? I had my senior, and I had Gabe because he's at CCBC. But then all of a sudden Noah comes home too, so I've got all three of them at home, which is kind of nice because they're all older, and eventually they're going to be moving out of the nest, hopefully. And so it's nice having this time with them that way. It is, Autumn. She's a pleaser, and she wants to make everything's perfect for everybody. And she has some issues with the way Schoology works, and she has some issues with the way that, things are happening. And, she was mad yesterday because she got an 86 on something. And I think it was in her psychology class. And it's like, it's an 86. It's like, right. Look at you. You're doing great. I mean, look at what your brothers did. Come on, seriously. And you've already been accepted to college. So what does it really matter at this point? Right. But so she's still trying to achieve and get through all this stuff. And, having older kids, I think, is way easier than having little kids. I've heard from a lot of parents that have like first graders, second graders, third graders. This just isn't working. And it's partially because most of the school districts haven't figured it out. I mean, you guys were fortunate that you had Schoology, that you were planning on, whatever they call instructional days.
Yeah, the
we're
flex
actually planning kind of not for this, but to be able to use those for snow days. So you guys had a head start. We had a bunch of schools that didn't do anything for 4 weeks. That just we're not doing anything.
Right.
So and I have had a lot of parents say, you know what, this isn't working. And, you know, for those first, second, and third graders, in some ways, that kind of stuff to me would be just can it. You know, if it's stressing the kids out, if you don't know what you're doing there, what does it really, what do you, I know you're losing educational time and you'll have to restructure for the next couple of years, but let's not stress the kids out.
Right.
But, you know, me having older kids, I mean, it's just, other than them being bored and trying to figure out, you know, Noah decided the other day that his lifelong, now Noah's 22. He was bored and his lifelong dream was to get a tractor and mow the grass while he drinks a beer. So he borrowed a tractor.
Nice.
And but you know, this was one of his lifelong dreams. So, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm dealing with because they're bored. So,
right.
Yeah.
The American dream right there.
It is the American dream, I guess, to ride a tractor and cut grass and drink a beer. But yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with. And, you know, like my middle child, you know, in some ways, you know, Noah got backed up because of, you know, being a conservatory major. It's a heavy load.
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of got backed up a year, but he would have been doing his student teaching now if things would have gone, you know, on track. But, you know, most colleges now are 5 years when you go to conservatory. So, but if you would have, you know, those kids that are out there doing their student teaching, those kids I feel really bad for because what happens there? I mean,
my girlfriend's one of them. She was at Upper St. Clair Elementary, and now, well, I mean, she finished her placement she was doing high school band with Chad Thompson at Bethel Park. And then she got through that, which was awesome. So she got kind of like the full band experience on the high school level. But kind of in the middle of her elementary general, they stopped. But she's been online with them. So she's been actually making online lessons still as a student teacher, which is cool. The state, it's, you know, again, it's just everyone's just kind of doing the best that they can. The state came out with some some rules and regulations, like as far as like, okay, you know, this is what you need to do. You need to do X, Y, and Z by the time, you know, you graduate. So the state did figure out something. You know, we tried going over it. It was a little confusing, you know, legal document writing. Yeah. But all her professors at Duquesne kind of, you know, were like, okay, this is what this line means. This is what you need to do to get your degree. So she's just been doing online lessons, and I think she just did a video lesson for a 4th grade, you know, classroom. So it's cool. You know, I do feel bad, but at least that they're doing what we're doing right now, you know. So if this does happen again, you know, I think that the student teachers that are going through this will be much more prepared than, you know, say myself or someone that's, you know.
Well,
you know,
I think everybody's going to be way more prepared. I mean, this is the whole thing. And this would be the time to, not to say this badly, but this would be the time to ask for that digital stuff, because you always have okay, what if this happens again? Right. We need this for the what if, because, you know, the chances of this kind of thing happening again, now that they've been able to shut down the country pretty much, they'll do that again if they feel they need to, if they feel it's the right thing. And, you know, we need to be prepared as far as schools. And, you know, the thing that's really come out of all this to me is and I hope that everybody takes away, is how important the education system is, how dependent the children are on the education system, not only for education, but for food and for guidance and stuff like that. And of course, all the people on the front line, the nurses, the doctors, the pharmacists, all those people. Hopefully there's way more appreciation for those people that are actually really doing the hard work right now. And parents are at home, you know, swearing at the screen and stuff like that, but realize that this is what these teachers do every day. So hopefully that appreciation will come out for people that deserve it. Yeah. So when people don't want the teachers get summers off and stuff like that, because they work hard.
And I think, you know, kind of touching upon with Blackhawk as far as how we, and I thought that the district did a great job as far as just like not taking any time off, which, at first I was kind of like, oh, this seems a little like, we're rushing into this a little bit. But it was actually, in the long run, it was smart because like, we slowly built like, okay, hey guys, log on to Schoology. Can you get onto Schoology? Instead of taking like 2 weeks off and then just going like, we really have no idea, because then everyone's checked out at that point. Whereas, at Blackhawk, they were just like, nope, just stay in it, just make a test, see if everyone can say yes on a test, or something like that. And slowly just acclimating people into the system. So it wasn't, super, super crazy.
As I said, that was one of the most amazing things. I've watched a bunch of these school districts just go, and it's like 4 weeks later, I'm like, and then they're trying to scramble and figuring out what they're doing. And it's like, I mean, and some major school districts that I was shocked that that's the way that they approached it.
Yeah.
But, that's, once again, I live in the school district, but the job that they've done is just fantastic.
Well, and of course we're biased and going to, talk Blackhawk proud, but, there's something to be said when I, had a couple students that didn't have their instruments, and then, Mr. Nelson and Mr. Ford, our principals, I got Mr. Ford calling me on the phone. He's in the slot room. Okay, what instruments need to go where? Okay, I got this one here, got this one in this slot room. Is this one in a case? And then within 2 days, they were at the front doors of the students that needed them. And I know that Highland did the same thing. It was really, really, really cool. And I'm very, very proud to teach in this district. That's for sure.
Yeah, we have a lot of school districts where the instruments are still locked in the slot rooms.
Yeah.
And not being able to be got to and stuff like that. So, but
which if you are one of those students who need an instrument at home, call us at the store. So,
are you guys giving out instruments, or not giving out, but are you, so students, if they need one, they can still,
if they have a rental with us and it's stuck in the building, they just need to give us a call. And we're just exchanging the instrument. We're just giving them another one to use, and we'll get the other one picked up whenever we can figure out what that looks like.
Great.
We're not, and we're renting people that were using school instruments that are stuck in the building. We are renting instruments at a low price, so they can have an instrument to practice if they're not ready with us currently. So no, our goal is to help support the programs as much as we can. We've had several. Yeah, nothing. I'm not going to say that. Anyways, I thought better of it after I thought about it for a minute.
Even if you have a student who's horn is giving them issues at home and stuff.
Yeah.
Have them call the store, because we'll still be able to take care of that. They don't.
Yeah, the one that I had to go away for, the one that I had to go away for was a violin bridge that had fallen off a violin, and
they can't really fix that at home. I mean,
I couldn't.
Try, but it'd be a little dangerous for the violin.
Yeah, no, they brought it in, and I reset the bridge, and away they went. So
awesome.
So yeah, anything anybody needs, supplies. I've had a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm trying to order reeds on Amazon, and it's going to take 2 weeks." Hey, we have reeds in stock, and you can either pick it up or I can ship it to you today.
Yeah.
So don't go to Amazon. If you need reeds, oil, mouthpieces, any accessory, let me know, and we can get you taken care of. So pricing's the same. So.
That's awesome. You guys are still open too and doing everything.
Well, we're technically not open. Yeah, I'm in the store a little bit, and I'm helping everybody that I can until somebody tells me I can't.
Sure.
Right. So,
yeah,
but the doors are locked, and I do have a mask. I have this lovely music note mask
from Gator.
Yeah, from Gator Cases.
Gator Cases.
Yeah, I ordered 24 of them. They shipped one. So, but because they were overwhelmed the day they announced they were going to do this, because Gator is a case company. They make instrument cases, sound reinforcement cases, stuff like that. But they have a sewing part. So they decided they were going to make masks. And they're actually really nice. They have a filter inside of them that actually is like a 3-stage filter. that are actually better than just a cloth mask. But they announced it on the same day that the CDC said everybody needs to wear masks. So they got flooded with orders more than expected. And so when I ordered 24, they shipped me one, and which was nice because now I have one that, you know, my daughter's making masks. Autumn's making masks. She made me, this is the fabric we had. So she made me this mask here, with
Nice.
butterflies, and so I have several masks, which is cool. But yeah, so that's what we got,
Adorable.
isn't it?
Well, I see the time here. How about we wrap it up? Brandon, I just want to ask you, you probably get asked this a little bit as a first-year teacher, but like, would you have any advice to put out there for like incoming first-year teachers or like anything like that? Any like little bits of insight that you've learned over the year?
I learned that there are a lot of layers to being a teacher. I want to crack a Shrek reference about layers, but I'm not going to.
Oh, you could.
But there's so many layers to being a teacher that the college system does not have time to teach you. And I think it's common for people to rag on colleges, like, oh, I didn't learn this in school, and it's actually kind of like one of the jokes I say, like in class. I'm like, oh, didn't learn that, or when something doesn't go right or something. Yeah. But it's true in the sense that like the system doesn't have time to teach you, like honestly, like how to schedule buses, how to write an email, how to shake someone's hand, how to talk to parents, how to do the process, how to go through a budgeting process, how to go through a trip planning. But what it does have time to teach you, and for whoever is watching that is about to graduate or something, or is in the middle of a college experience, you do have time to be a good musician, and that is something that I think is so important. That when you come out of school, you have to be the best possible musician you can if you're going to be a music teacher, because you don't have time to learn how to be a musician. You have time to learn how to be a teacher when you're in the field, and how to teach and how to get your point across and how to make connections with students, but you don't have time to be practicing, all your scales, all your arpeggios, all your concert rep, learning all that stuff. I mean, take the time while you're in school to be the best possible musician you can, as well as teach, teach as much as you can. When you're not practicing, you're teaching,
Yeah. I get that. So like the, like all of like the musicianship side of things, like that's just going to come breeze by you so easily, like during class, like that's stuff that you can do while teaching. Like you have to make sure you put like a little bit more eye and effort into that.
Right. Unless you're student teacher, you're not going to get time on the podium. I mean, unless you're conducting for a community band. I mean, and that stuff is, you're constantly learning. As soon as that's what I found. I thought like, oh, I needed to be like super, super good conducting, and no, it's not really the case. You want to be the best you can coming out of school, but you want to be as the best possible musician you can, on your horn, as well as make sure your ears and understanding your concept of sound for whatever it's an elementary class, a middle school class, high school class. You just got to be the best musician you can. So when you get into the field, you can teach. It's just as simple as that. At least that's what that's the one and only thing that I can somewhat offer is just be a good musician.
That's
so
awesome.
And in this time right now, all of those soon to be graduates or like still finishing up their college programs, just keep practicing.
Yep.
Do your homework. I mean, just listen to music. I mean, just take as much time as you can. Listen to everything. Know your rep. Learn your horn. Simple as that. Just get to it. You got all the time in the world.
Very cool. All right, so we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the shirt. I love it.
Not a problem.
They're the best shirts.
They are. They're very, very comfy.
They're awesome. Just as a reminder, you can join us at 3:00. We'll be on with Dr. Tim Lutzenheimer. So
it's going to be really good.
So it'll be fun. So join us again, and thank you all for coming to Coffee Talk or Coffee Conversations, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you all who have watched this whole thing.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's awesome. We've had
See ya.
viewers. Bye.
Bye.
guys.
Hold on, I gotta